So hi guys, are these adjectives or adverbs, do they have any resonance for you? And what do they relate to? Yes, it's Sunday quiz day. Annoying, irritating, depressing, frustrating, time consuming, and finally, am I the sort of a status guy that spends their days sitting in front of my phone frigging about swiping girls on Tinder? I mean, this is the problem. It's actually simply not a very enjoyable pursuit, and you can quite quickly become jaded. I'm like this girl here. Like a lot of girls' bios, the ones who bother to put bios on Tinder, express the frustration from their side of the fence. I'm finding that the last 3 dates I had on Tinder, two of the girls I was generally attracted to, and both those attractive girls were interested in me and followed up after the date, but I just felt that we weren't compatible in terms of long-term relationship, even though it might be fun to fool around. So, and then the third one, unfortunately just wasn't attracted to her, but it was an interesting enough conversation. In fact, the date was in Polish, she was Ukrainian. And I'm finding that on Tinder I'm getting either those types of girls who are great girls but don't want to follow up with, or the girls that I do want to follow up with that I'm genuinely attracted to. The texting kind of fizzles out and they don't come out on dates after only 1 or 2 texts, all a bit random. So it's quite a frustrating situation. Anyway, here's the story. Yesterday I went to the golf driving range, as is my wont. I do enjoy the golf, as you know. I enjoy it for what it teaches me about life as much as the sort of the enjoyment of the sport, and you know, it helps me unwind at the end of the day and so on. Particularly in summer, it's beautiful. A little course on the river with a little kind of bar. And I bumped into a girl who's just a young girl who's just doing some work there, but she's a golfer. She had a ridiculous pink bag full of golf clubs, and a pretty young blonde girl, and we got chatting about language, because forgive the wind, it suddenly kicked off. She actually decided to have a conversation with you in Polish, because the last time I was there, the staff say you got to try and speak Polish. You've got to speak Polish to Alex. Don't give him an easy ride. Yeah, so say practice his Polish. And I got into a conversation with her in Polish, and it went on for 3 minutes. But it did feel good. I felt a little bit in the zone. And for those guys who are following the other channel, well, I'm putting the videos up here now, who watch the vlog about Polish, it's a similar thing with Tinder. It's like Polish is like going to the dentist's, trying to learn it. It just, for some reason, unlike golf, which I really enjoy, so it doesn't make sense to me why one should be really unpleasant and unenjoyable and the other should be pleasant and unenjoyable. They're both skills. And but I've actually discovered with Polish that I'm beginning to chisel away at the problem. I'm beginning to cultivate some interest and I would almost go so far as to say a little bit of fun. Certainly it was fun talking to her in Polish. And I'm like, yeah, so therefore it can't be the case that the skill itself in this instance a language skill, is the problem. Yeah, it's my approach, my mindset that is the problem. Time to eyeball oneself. And with Tinder, it's pretty much, it's still totally like going to the dentist, except it's worse. With the dentist, you actually come out feeling quite good about yourself. You got the medical treatment done that you needed, and you might, have had some work done, and there's no longer a drill mucking about with your root canal and a great needle being stuck in your cheek, and you've been plonked in the dignity of this chair for however long. There's all of that. Ta-da! You walk out of the dentist's on air, yeah? You don't feel like it with Tinder. You feel like demoralised. Moreover, you got to keep ringing up the dentist, haven't you? Every few days you check your messages to see whether you've got a match, and then you're like, oh, do I check now? How many times a day do I check? I only swipe once a week on a Sunday with a boost for maximum time, and yes, I do look at Tinder. At least I try to look at it just once a day, but I end up looking at it 2 or 3 or 4 times a day, checking in on it, because it's an app on my phone, isn't it? So, yesterday having this chat with this girl was fun, and she complimented me on my Polish, and I got into a conversation with her. She's quite a smart girl, about probably a bit too young for me. I got into a chat about this whole topic. She's learning Spanish, and she told me a story about how she'd actually walked into a coffee shop on the last day of the holiday and just started speaking Spanish, and just had enough of treading around on eggshells of the language, and just gone for it. And suddenly she found herself in a zone, and I found myself in a little bit of a zone chatting to her yesterday afternoon. And it's like you can click and you get into the zone where you're actually really enjoying the skill that you're practicing. So 2 things to say by way of wrapping up this vlog is firstly, I have now started to see the green shoots of progress with ChatGPT. I've now got it as an app on my phone, and as I'm walking to golf, or for 20 minutes in the morning as I'm having a coffee before work, I talk to it. And the great thing about the app is that it'll just keep talking to you, and it will not be angry when you get it wrong. It won't be judging you. Do you know what I mean? You won't have the pressure that you often have. So for me, this is a bridge into talking Polish more fluently, and I found that over the past few weeks, when I've been doing this and actually just getting out there onto the field of play and talking and listening and talking and listening, and then being in a real life situation like I was yesterday with this girl in golf, and finding maybe this could work, that's opened up things a little bit. With the Tinder, so here's the same challenge that faces us, isn't it? The real trick is there a way of making it quite an interesting pursuit that's not overly time consuming, and that we can kind of enjoy, learn from, have fun with, rather than get jaded and disappointed about. Now the key thing here is jaded and disappointed and angry, which you then bottle up, and then you talk to your mates, I don't like Tinder or whatever, and then you see these guys' profiles, and they're targeting super hot 20-year-olds, and then they're telling this 45-year-old dude is telling you that they want a nice relationship with a nice Polish girl. You know what I mean? So you go into but fine, we go into a place of anger and denial about the whole thing, and then we kind of almost guarantee that it's not going to work for us, because we're not prepared to eyeball ourselves. But eyeballing ourselves doesn't need to be unpleasant. It doesn't mean to be hard work. It just needs to have with me, with the chat GPT, with me, with the golf, with me. I've done the skiing videos. They're not irrelevant, guys. You won't make long-term progress unless you cultivate enthusiasm and curiosity and love of the skill that you're pursuing, whether it's skiing or whether it's dating. So once you've seen what the problem is, which is an inner one, then you need to figure out how to solve it, and that you will need to tailor it to your own situation, I'm afraid. This isn't like the advice that I can give you anymore. The people who watch golf videos, and I've seen them, they go out on the driving range and they practice their, the swing, and they watch these golf videos. It doesn't make any difference, because the videos they're watching aren't tailored to the problem that they've got with their swing. They've got to get a coach in or someone else to watch them, or perhaps video themselves and watch themselves and see what's going wrong, and then tailor the correction drill to address the problem that they've got with their swing. So advice that I give you cannot be overly prescriptive. There are tools and tricks and tips, but essentially you've got to eyeball yourself and tailor, find a way of generating interest and enthusiasm, and then take practical steps. Build a solution into your life that works for you. For me, having spoken to a guy who's successful on Tinder this week and seen his profile, which was really strong and tailored to him, like a James Bondy English gent, and the bio was really super fun and fizzy and not too long. And he's got to a place now, he's not even boosting, he's on the gold membership, and he's not having to swipe because the girls are just liking him. And I looked at the girls that have been liking him, they're all super attractive girls. He's got to a kind of he's got to sort of a swiping paradise where he's just getting likes. He's not having to actually swipe. So, and he's using chat GPT. And I'm starting to think, therefore, that I need to totally refresh, reset, and reframe the way I go about using Tinder, which at the end of the day is a helpful supplement and complement to daytime approach. But you do need daytime approach, because if you get them out on the dates off the basis of profile and a few texts, good luck to you, my friend. Just one little final thing. I'm just finding, as you'll have seen at the beginning from the text, from the bio that I put up from an attractive girl on Tinder, I'm just finding that I'm checking the bio more and more often, because I just don't want to spend a couple of hours and pick up the tab for a couple of hours with a girl who hasn't got the right vibe. And I'm starting to think that even though she's attractive, like the example I put up, we matched, but then I haven't followed up, because I don't like girls who put negative stuff in their bio. Sure, we're all facing the problems that there are on Tinder, but it doesn't mean you have to communicate that in a bio. That's just off-putting. So, and if you are a high status guy, you shouldn't be draining your energy by engaging with girls whom either on the bio or the texting or perhaps over a phone call you're just not feeling it with. Set your boundaries. Okay, that's all for now. Farewell, goodbye, well, not farewell, but au revoir from windy Warsaw.